there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to my channel. I am so glad to see you if you join me for another video. It's Kid Bombing here. I'll be your storyteller on this brand new video. So I'll be doing another read aloud for you guys. Some of you are excited and prepared to learn and listen. So first of all, I'll show a book I've got. I got Disney Pixar Cars Lockout for Mater. It was published by Disney's Wonderful Reading and Scholastic Edition. So, before I begin the story, I'm going to read by words from each pages. I'll show you some pictures also. So, shall we begin? In Radiator Springs, times had changed. Cars came from all over to visit a place where the famous race car Lightning McQueen had his headquarters. McQueen didn't mind all the curious visitors. Flashy red race car was used to other cars staring. But what was new to him was having friends. A whole town full of friends. McQueen enjoyed hanging out around town, and even though the town folk had become a lot busier taking care of all the customers, some things hadn't changed. Red would still carefully water his plants, and Ramon Wood came by Flu's Cafe now and again to show off a flashy new paint job. McQueen had 3 very special friends. Doc was one of them. He was McQueen's new crew chief, and McQueen really liked practicing with him. The old race car was still very fast, and these days McQueen listened carefully when Hudson Hornet offered to teach him a trick, while Doc was a coach, a mentor, and a terrific friend. Sally was a different story. Sally was a girlfriend, as Mater put it, but McQueen still saw friends as friends, and he liked his friends all the same. They had taught him that being a good friend is all about looking out for each other and having fun. Sally was practically good at looking out for each other's. Mater also cared a lot about his friends, and even though the rusty brown tall truck was different from McQueen, they were still best friends, as Mater always insisted. At first, McQueen had taught Mater wasn't a fastest thinking car in town, but he had learned otherwise. Mater had taught McQueen that playing and having fun is much more important than what wheels you drive or colour of your paint. One day, McQueen and Sally came across an old gravel pit. "Whoa!" McQueen cried. "What a fun place for the race. Maybe I'll bring Mater late out there sometime. I'm sure he would love it." Sally laughed. "But please be careful. The walls of a pit may slip, and if you bump into any of those big heaps of gravel, they may bury you." Back in town, Sally told McQueen that she was going out of town for a few days. "I'll come with you," McQueen said. Sally smiled. "You'd be terribly bored. It's a convention of Malta for Malta owners. Having to talk about no vacancy signs all day wasn't really McQueen's idea of fun. Oh, he said, I'll just stay here. Have a good trip, you too, Sally said. And remember to look out for Mater. What you're mopping for? Mater asked for next day. Really, McQueen gazed down. Straight. Don't really know. Could it be cause Miss Sally left town? Mater teased. Humph. McQueen murmured. Oh, shoot. Mater giggled. I know what you need. Some Mater fun. Sometimes Mater's sense of fun tended to be a little reckless, so McQueen decided he had better go along. Remembering Sally's words, outside town, Mater headed for the small hill on the field. Watch out, McQueen cried, but Mater just kept speeding and honking his horn. He flew off a hill with a big grin. McQueen thought. That did look kind of fun, and a few seconds later, he hung in the air, grinning too. Later, they were driving down the steep dirt road with sharp, hairpin bends. Now, watch this, Mater said, and began driving backwards. Stop, you're crazy, McQueen gasped. You might scared and slide down. Nah, it's just take skill. Mater chuckled. You'll try. Mater didn't want Mater to think he couldn't do it. So he hits his brakes hard and spun around, determined to prove himself. McQueen did fine, zigzagging down the hairpin bends, but he just knew there was trouble ahead when Mater crossed the narrow bridge on two wheels. Look out! McQueen cried. The tow truck reached the other side safely and grinned. Guess you're that feeling of speed and aromatics. It's aerodynamics, McQueen mumbled. Looking at the bridge, he gulped, but he didn't want Mater to think that was a sissy. Maybe the bridge was slippery, maybe drive onto it at the wrong angle. In any case, McQueen lost his grip. He slipped off the bridge and right into the stream with a big splosh. Good thing I brought my tow cable, Mater chuckled as he towed his friend out of the muddy water. Thanks, McQueen snorted. Any time, buddy, Mater chuckled. As the sun began to set, Mater said, let's go to one last fun place. It's a great place for racing. You know, a little rough and reckless driving. McQueen sighed. There was no leaving Mater now. But we can't go down there, McQueen cried as he found himself on the edge of a gravel pit. But Mater was already heading down to the gravel pit floor. But the walls might slip, and the heaps of gravel might bury us, McQueen cried. I came here all the time, Mater cried back. But Sally warned me, McQueen began. Mama's boy. Major's voice echoed down from a pit. McQueen scowled, and he revved his engine, and in the clouds of dust he raced into the pit. "See? Ain't it fun?" Mater hooted and took it off. His wheels spun and gravel sprayed right in McQueen's face. McQueen snared and set after him. "I'll get him," he thought. McQueen quietly caught up with Mater, only to bump into the hole on the uneven ground. Grunting, he had to back up before he could resume the chase. Once more he caught up with Mater, but it seemed that a tow truck had a better grip. McQueen scared in a curve and had to turn hard to left to recover. It got him back on track, but he was still behind. And where was Mater? A thick dust cloud enveloped the gravel pit. McQueen couldn't see a thing. He raced forward, not quite sure of where he was going, but he didn't slow down, and suddenly Mater's bumper appeared out of nowhere. McQueen had to make a sharp right turn. He lost control and slammed sideways into the big heap of gravel. "Uh-oh," he moaned. He shut his eyes tight. For so long, nerve-wracking seconds he waited. He expected to hear a sound of gravel pouring down on the top of him. "This is it," he thought to himself. "It'll bury me." But it didn't not happen. Slowly he opened his eyes. He peered up at the heap. It was still there, and he was only partly covered with gravel. Clunk. McQueen felt Mater's tow cable hooked up on his front fender. "Sit still, buddy," Mater whispered. Then slowly, very slowly, Mater began to pull. McQueen held his breath, and inch by inch, he was torn away from a heap. "Phew," McQueen said. "That was close." "Was not," Mater said. "And you know, I always bring my tow cable, that's why." Ahem. A loud, deep voice stopped Mater's ranting. The two friends turned around to face a huge bulldozer. "What do you think you're doing?" "Well, my friend, skid down that wall," Mater began, and flashed his lights at the gravel pit wall, and he got stuck in the heap. "Is that so?" the bulldozer said, looking at the gravel dust clouding the pit. "Well, I couldn't just let him sit there," Mater added. "He's my best buddy and all." "Just get out of here," the bulldozer growled, "and don't come back while we open the pit. A radiator spring is back in business, and so are we." "Shoot," Mater said as they drove back home. "I just love the place. It's a dangerous place." McQueen mumbled. "Well, he sure was a big bulldozer," Mater said. "Did you see those wheels?" But McQueen wasn't really listening. He felt bad and sad. His paint had been badly scratched, but that was a least of it. Something awful could have happened to both of them. The next morning, McQueen went to Boardman's to get a new paint job. He met Mater on the other side on the way there. Gee, we had fun yesterday. The truck said, "Gonna go for some more." "Thanks, but not today," McQueen said. "I plan on taking it easy, getting my paint fixed. Before Sally returns. Well, I am out of here, lover boy." Mater giggled and left. It turned out to be a pretty boring day. McQueen had waited for hours before Raymond could fit him in, and once Raymond was done, the paint took forever to dry, flashy but sporty. Raymond said, pleased with his work, "And now you'll stay out of that gravel pit, right?" "Promise," McQueen said. "It's the craziest place." A few days later, McQueen visited Luigi, who had just received some first-class Italian tires. "I would love for you to test them, my friend," he said. "Sure, but some other day?" McQueen murmured. His mind was wandering. Where had Mater gone? Had he been doing something fun? At dusk, he heard Mater hoot. "McQueen, follow me. Quick." "What's a hurry?" McQueen asked, a little suspicious. "It's a surprise." Mater grinned. "A fast one." "A surprise?" McQueen said, retracing his rather dull day. "I could do with a surprise," he thought, and looked at Mater, but then again. Quit worrying," Mater began. "I always bring my toll cable, okay?" McQueen smiled, and the two friends raced out of town. Soon McQueen found himself close to the gravel pit. "No," McQueen said, "not again." "Shh," Mater whispered. Big Bull's sleeping." "Big Bull?" "Yeah, like a baby. He's been working all day with his buddies. They have been really busy. But where are they?" "They left. Their job is done," Mater whispered. "Tomorrow the real work starts, but there's no trolleys on the rails yet. This is our chance." "Mater, we are not going back into the gravel pit," McQueen insisted. "Trolleys or no trolleys?" "Uh-huh," Mater said. We sure are." "Mater, I'll promise myself that I won't go back there again." But you don't want to miss this," Mater went on, and sneaked by a bulldozer. "I'm telling you, we almost crashed the last time," McQueen whispered. "I nearly got buried." "Yeah, only scratched your paint," Mater grinned, and hardly touched the gravel. McQueen looked into the pit. Rails had been put up so the gravel could easily be carried from one end to the other. He gulped. Mater had already driven into the pit and onto the rails. "Don't be shy. he called up at McQueen. The whales have perfectly fit. Mater, McQueen cried. You shouldn't. We can't. We can't. We can get seriously. But Mater wasn't listening. He was already headed into the first curve and full speed. For a while, McQueen watched Mater. What else could he do? He watched him speed up the whales and rush down with a big grin on his face. He heard him honk and hoot, and he heard his brakes screech as he went into sharp curves. Then all of a sudden, McQueen felt his own engine growl. He felt his wheels start spinning, and he just couldn't help it. He raced down into the pit and up onto the whales. He had to try it too. He pushed himself up the whales. It was quite strenuous, but on the top, he hooted like Mater and raced down. It was fast. It was fantastic. It was great fun. He zoomed into the curve, his wheels barely touching the whales. Then he pushed himself up again, ready for another big dip. I told you, it will be fun, Mater cried, and the two friends kept going up and down and raced the curves. Round the curves. Only the moon shedded a little light on the rails when McQueen slowed down. Time to go home, buddy, he called to Mater. It's almost dark. I just took one more round, Mater called back. From Mater's panting and puffing, McQueen could tell that his friend was tired. Then the clouds covered the moon. Mater thought. Would Mater's headlights be bright enough for him to stay on the rails in the dark? Look out, he cried, and he heard Mater holler. Yeehaw! Ah! McQueen froze. He heard a strange crackling and crunching. It sounded a bit as if Mater's cable had wandered. Buddy, are you okay? He bellowed. Then a huge floodlight lit the gravel pit. What the heck is going on? A deep voice roared. It was Big Bull. Mater's tall cable had kept him from crashing, but now it was dangling beside the rails, all good, tangled up in it. Good thing I brought my tall cable, he said sheepishly, and looked down. Big Bull fumed. I'd better get you down, but I have to break your tall cable. Back down on the ground, Mater was unusually quiet. Not a word left his mouth. Don't come back, Big Bull said, as Mater and McQueen left. Don't even think about it. The two friends drove back to Radiation Springs in utter silence. Mater hung his head, and McQueen didn't know what to say. He felt terrible. He should have stopped Mater much sooner, but they were just having so much fun. Hey there, back in town? The two were met by a familiar voice. Sally had returned. Where have you been this late? She asked. Where her? McQueen stuttered. Once again, he had no idea of what to say. But he was surprised to see Sally, and he had promised to look out for Mater, he was not very proud of a job he had done. Then Sally spotted Mater's broken toll cable. "Gee, Mater, what happened to you?" Sally gasped, and turned to McQueen. He cringed. "Well, it's a long story. Far too much gravel, not enough light." "You have been to the gravel pit," Sally snapped. "At night?" "What were you thinking?" Tell you a truth." Mater cut in. "I was the one not thinking. McQueen trying to warn me. He tried to stop me. He really did. But it got dark and panicked, tossing my table cable and everywhere." Mater's voice broke. "Got all tangled up," Mater snuffled. Broke my toll cable." "Don't worry," Sally said. "Doc can fix you right up." "I know," Mater said, and turned to to McQueen. "And we had a best fun ever, didn't we?" "Sure. We sure did, buddy," McQueen said. "But we're not going back." "No, shoot," Mater said. "I need to get my toll cable fixed first." Sally frowned, but McQueen couldn't help smiling. "There was just no stopping Mater." The end. So, I hope you enjoyed the story of Disney Pixar Cars. Look out for Mater. I think it's quite an interesting story. This is a different storylines. Was so different to a main Cars movie. So if you enjoyed this video, please rate your comments down below. And last year it was amazing since we had celebrated a wonderful and fabulous 100 years of Walt Disney Company was formed in 1923. Behind the magical legacy of animation studios has been changed by time. Okay guys, so remember to subscribe to my channel, hit this bell notification, and do not miss out official contents. And there's a positive way. You can support me on social links. You can support my social media is Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok, and Instagram. I really appreciate you guys for your support to help me get my creativity going up and grown. Okay guys, so thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon.